Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Filmmaker interviews for the 23rd Annual Garden State Film Festival. My name is Mike Cassidy. I will be your host this evening, and I have the pleasure of speaking with friend of the festival, friend of the crew, Sophie Aguila. Sophie, how's it going?
Hello, it's going well. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing really good. It's so good to see you again. I haven't seen you since last year's festival.
Yeah,
How,
yeah. No, I'm excited to be coming back.
and as a filmmaker,
Doing yes, yeah. First time with that, so I'm
so
excited.
tell us a little bit about Meet Me Under the Bleachers.
Yeah, so Bleachers was my senior thesis at Temple University. It is a coming of age story. It's very much based on kind of my own nostalgia, reflecting on 80s coming of
Yeah.
age movies, John Hughes, all of that, blended with, the Disney movies I grew up with. So there's a little bit of fantasy in there. I won't spoil it, but yeah, I'm super excited for everyone to see
I'm
it.
glad you said fantasy because when I was watching it, I was like, that's a little bit of a fairy godmother stuff. Like I don't want to say, yeah. So I
Yeah,
really, it was
exactly.
awesome seeing that stuff and what you did with it. It was so cool. So you said the inspiration was from it was your senior thesis, and the inspiration was from where?
The inspiration was a lot from John Hughes movies. So thinking like Breakfast Club. One of our biggest comps was Dirty
Ooh,
Dancing. Just the idea of like coming of age growing up. We were had a fairy godmother moment in there, very inspired by like Cinderella and having that whole thing in there. But kind of like that story, the romance is kind of just a flavor on top of it. The real story is about the main character's personal development and confidence.
definitely. What was the process like of making this film?
So I was writing the film while I was studying in LA in the summer of 2023. I was with my university out west and I was working in development. And so that kind of gave me the inspiration during my writing process over that summer. And then when I came into the fall of my senior year, so fall 2023, I was able to pitch that project to our class. We had a cohort of directors. And so as a member of that, I pitched my project, and our teachers were able to group us with the crew that they thought was most appropriate to bring our project to life. So I got to work with a really good friend of mine, Carrie Sage, as DP. I got to work with two of my closest friends as editors. So Gabby Sue, she's located in Texas, as well as our other editor, Liz Marrero, who is also a friend of the festival, and who will also be able to come see it this year, which I'm very excited. And then one of my best friends, Sal, was our producer. So it was really finding that nuclear group, and we all really honed into understanding what the project was, where it was coming from for me. The project was really a love letter to New Jersey for me as well. So I really wanted to take that inspiration to bring the project to life. And they, followed with me and helped me do that.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. What was it like finding the cast?
So I had one of my roommates actually from that summer acted as our casting director, Cassandra Snyder. She's living out west here with me now as well. And she is a phenomenal casting director. She really sat with me, sat with the script. We went through so many rounds of callbacks and feedback and cold calls. We used kind of the typical sites backstage. Casting Breakdown, all of those sites. And we were able to, funnily enough, through one of those sites, one actor that I'd
Okay.
previously worked with had auditioned. And so this was our like fairy godmother
Really?
character. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to spoil anything, but I loved his performance.
Yeah. So I had worked with him the year prior, actually. And I mean, me and Cass had a very rigorous audition process, but he really understood the project. He really fit the project, and he really had so much chemistry with the other actors that it was a no
Yeah,
brainer. So we were very lucky with all the cast that came into it. Even again, not to give too much away, but the romantic flavor of it is this queer love story. And when our lead actress came into her first audition, she out the gate was just so passionate about, like, I want to be a part of this project. You know, I want to audition for multiple roles if I can. Like, this project is really about something that I'm passionate about showing in film. And so again, it was a no-brainer for her, because it not only did she embody this character, but she really embodied what the project was about, which was just like giving diverse groups that aren't necessarily always given a spotlight, giving them a spotlight and giving them a happy ending.
Yeah, you could definitely feel that she was passionate about that role, the way she played it. I thought she was incredible. So you're a friend of the festival. What does it mean to you to have your film be shown at the festival this year? And
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to even phrase how important being in this festival is to me, and to even our co-editor Liz. For both of us, we've been working with the festival and working with Kristen for years. We've been working with Kristen for upwards of a decade, and working with the festival for the same amount of time. And so to both of us, and again to me, with writing it and making it to be a love letter to my hometown and a love letter to New Jersey, to have it premiere in New Jersey, and specifically at this festival, meant so much, and it means so much to our crew. You know, after I graduated last spring, I moved out to LA. I'm working out here in the industry, but there really is nothing like Philly and South Jersey, and just being able to be around people who have been your community for
yeah,
so long. Um, yeah. So it means a lot for us to have this premiere at,
that's
back
awesome. I didn't
home.
know it was premiering at the festival.
Yeah, yeah, world
That's
premiere. Yeah.
incredible. You said Philadelphia. Are
Yeah.
you an Eagles fan by any chance? Okay,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm wearing green, go
we're gonna have to
birds,
talk
like,
about
yeah.
it. What were you looking for your audience to get out of this film after they watched it? We'll watch the premiere. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think the main takeaway that I would have for people who are watching it for the first time is, I really hope it shows, kind of like I'd mentioned with, what we'd expressed to the people as we were onboarding crew, as we were onboarding cast, uh, that no matter what your background is, where you come from, how old you are, what your sexuality, what your gender is, you deserve a happy ending. And I really want to uplift people, I guess, at the end of the day, when they watch this and they can see themselves in some of our characters and see their own stories, and be able to leave with a
yeah.
smile on their face. I think that's
The whole
the end of the
time. I
day.
thought it was awesome. Do you have any other plans for
Thank
the film now, not including the festival? Are you sending it anywhere else?
Yeah, yeah. So we're still submitting to the festival circuit. So stay tuned for
Can't
more screening
wait.
announcements. I think we're tentatively working on a longer kind of expansion of it. So still in a very early development of what that looks like, but hopefully maybe taking the story a little further. So I'm excited to work with our development team, see where we can take it from here. But definitely the first step in that is bringing it to audiences, having, finding our audience. And that really is going to find home at Garden
I think
State.
so too. Yeah. Do you have any advice for the up and coming filmmakers that watch your film? What do you want them to? If you had the best advice that you could think of, what would you give to them?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I learned a lot through this process. Our whole crew did. It was a fully student, run set. So we were all kind of learning our roles and learning our voices in the process. I would say even in the script writing process for me, there was a lot of pressure to, in some way, fit into what was expected of a short film and what was expected to write about. Or, if it's a drama, if it's a coming of age drama, it can't have comedy, or it can't have fantasy, or it can't be grounded while having fun with it. And I think what I would relay to people coming out of like having had that process and having been told things like that is that that
Mhm.
isn't true. Sometimes the story that you need to tell and sometimes the story that needs to be told does have comedy, does have fantasy, does have um, moments where it's not necessarily, this
Yeah.
serious story the whole time, but it can still carry a powerful message. Um, and in doing that, it can still carry the themes that you wanted it to carry when you set out with it. It's still your voice and stick by your voice no matter what form that takes.
Uh, thank you for that. So what? Sorry, I just totally blanked for a second. Yeah. Oh my God, sorry. Uh, do you have? So, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
like,
you're good.
I'm trying to remember. I want to talk about the film, but I don't know what to say. I don't want to give anything away. Uh,
I mean, we can talk about it more.
I
Yeah,
learned a new
absolutely.
term that I never heard before. Shark Week. Never heard that
Oh yeah,
before.
yeah.
That's new information to me. And there was one scene. I don't think this gives anything away. But the fairy godmother had an Oreo. I think. Did he did he
Yeah.
dip it in like milk or like what? It was at a dance. So
Right, right. So, that dance scene, we loved that dance scene. That whole anything that took place in that gym sequence, was all shot in one day. So that was a massive undertaking for everyone to set up and break down. Yeah, the story very much revolves around this girl who has to choose between going to her homecoming senior year and going to a family dinner. And so she's kind of feeling torn between family obligations and being with her friend and, seeing maybe exploring some romantic interest with her friend. And so the story is really about her figuring out the balance between those two and finding her identity in the process. So when she is kind of appearing in the dance scenes, um, we my DP and I very much went into this with the perspective that as two key creatives on the project and to women in those roles, we really wanted to make sure that that female perspective was being shown in this romance and that unique voice was shown. So that's why we include certain like colloquial phrases that women will use with each other. We have Shark Week,
I had no idea.
some people call it flow, anti-flow,
Yeah, I did that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, but yeah, Shark Week was new. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then our fairy godmother, that was like an onset decision. He has just this great improvisational skill of just understanding the character. He very much lives in the character. When he comes to set, he is the character and he comes with all these ideas. And so we had a period of the day where we kind of just like let him cook. And so we were like, okay, like go to the snack table, kind of be looking around the room, be like paying attention to our main character, checking in if she's okay, but like you're a little distracted, maybe you're eating something. And he had the choice of he dipped the cookie in like the
okay.
punch bowl for the table. Yeah. So a little bit more
Yeah.
awkward than milk, I would say too.
Would you say that
Yeah.
the scenes in the gymnasium was that your favorite to shoot?
Oh, that's hard. I think they all hold a special place for me. The scenes that were shot in the main character's house were at my aunt's house, so my mom's sister, and so that was like an emotional kind of experience. The scenes outside by the bleachers were shot at Rowan University,
Oh, shout
so
out.
we tried to shoot the majority of it in New Jersey. There was only one scene, one of the bathroom scenes, that we shot on campus at Temple
Gotcha.
in Philly. But the rest of it was shot in New Jersey. So I think each of the locations held something for us. Like there was when we were shooting at the bleachers, it was raining for part of the day. So like our producers were running around making sure everyone had hand warmers. It's the middle of the winter we're shooting it. Setting up like tents and making sure people were eating and had, could dry off and all that stuff. Um, I would say I really love the dance stuff as far as visually. I think people really enjoy that. We shot it very much to be presented on a projector or a widescreen, so I'm excited for our festival screening of it. But yeah, we went all out just to make that feel very dreamy and very idyllic. So it felt like an escape for our main character. So I would say it's one of my favorite visual scenes of the whole thing, but as far as shooting, the whole time was great.
Well, we are unfortunately coming to the end of our time together. Do you have anything else you want to plug before we go? Any other projects?
For right now, I think I'm watching where this project goes and really standing by it, and I really want to see it find an audience.
That's cool.
Thank
I think
you.
it will.
Thank you. Yeah.
For our viewers, you can see Meet Me Under the Bleachers Saturday, March 29th, Block AL6, 6:15 to 8:15. Sophie, it was awesome talking to you. I can't wait to see you again at this. I already know you're coming, but are you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be there all weekend. So excited to meet everyone, see everyone
It'll be
again.
awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you then.